My research is in the field of something called circulating tumor cells, which we call CTCs. And they are tumor cells that have broken away from the masses that they originate from and end up in the bloodstream. And this is prevalent in pretty much all cancers. The idea behind this is that if you can harvest these CTCs out of the bloodstream, you can run analysis on them, you can get an idea of diagnosis, prognosis, all sorts of things for the patients without using invasive biopsy techniques. You don't have to physically cut away from a tumor source, especially if it's somewhere that's very difficult to reach in a safe manner. The idea is that you could just draw blood instead and use that to do a lot of the testing that you may have needed more invasive techniques to do. So there are a lot of ways, at least in the field, that people have gone about attempting to isolate CTCs out of the bloodstream. The main issue is that they're in the bloodstream in very small concentrations compared to the white blood cells, red blood cells, platelets, all of that. So in our lab, we've been looking into using something called magnetic separation. And so we tag cancer cells with an antibody that is specifically targeted towards some protein that's being expressed on its surface. And the antibody that we use has been conjugated with magnetic particles. So by targeting the cancer cells with a specific antibody that now has magnetic particles on it, we give these cancer cells magnetic properties. And then in the lab, we have a machine that we run it through, which uses a magnetic field to try to capture the cells out of the source material and capture them onto a slide. So a lot of what I do is running this process with various types of antibody, various sources, various incubation times, and then once they're captured on the slide, we stain them with fluorescent dyes and use the microscope to measure how well they've captured out of the source. So the fact that I'm looking into CTCs with my postdoc, a beer, is pretty unique in the lab.